Mother Teresa said this, that we can't always do great things, but we can always do little things with great love. When you look at the people who are the happiest in the world, the people who are the most generous, or the people who live their life according to deep relationships, deep connections, you realize, like Mother Teresa and Albert Einstein said, life isn't worth living unless it's lived for others. This is why we're designed for relationships. When you do something selfless, when you are actually living for others, when you realize that life is much more than what you get, but really about what you can give, it's that feeling of love and connectedness and trust, and those people are the happiest. Yo, what's up everybody? Sean Michael Afable here. We're gonna go on a hike in Griffith Park. Here we go.
"2021, we help people build financially and physically, and part of that is setting the example here with Sean Michael Afable and Rob. Big bank account, small belly."
Let's get it. Rob, why'd you do that?
I couldn't hold it.
Alright, so Nate, tell me about Cardio Cocktail. What does it do? Why is it helpful?
Yeah, Cardio Cocktail by former internationals based on Nobel Prize winning science. It's affordable wellness to the masses, bring wellness to the world. One shot, do some exercise, drink a lot of water. You're good to go, my man. Make it simple. Be as buff as you.
Shit, not that buff. There goes Nate. All right, have fun. All right, so we are hiking up here in Griffith Park in LA, and it's good to get out because you're gonna get those endorphins. You're gonna get your body going, and then you just feel much, much better after a good hike or good exercise, as we all know. But that's not where it ends. You know, when it comes to happiness and fulfillment, you gotta have a total balance in your life. And so, right now we're gonna work out our bodies, but there's more things, so we'll be talking about it in a second. All right, here we go. Continue we shall. So, when you're exercising, your body releases endorphins. That's why runners get that runner's high.
Yeah, let's get high.
Healthy, natural, your body is feeling good. Endorphins are there in order to in order to mask your pain. You're messing me up, bro. Just kidding. No, endorphins are there in order to actually mask pain. It goes all the way back to when we would have to hunt or run or do a bunch of different things in order to survive. But there's more to that. It's not just about feeling good on the physical level, but there's other different types of systems that work together to help you to survive and find that fulfillment, wellness, happiness. The second thing to remember is dopamine. When you find something you're looking for, or you accomplish something you need to do, like you check it off your to-do list, you feel good. You feel really great for accomplishing that. You know, you cross something off your checklist. It's kind of like your survival mechanism. You know, it teaches you what to keep doing. It's the bottom level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Food, you take a bite of that food, dopamine is released. Also released when you get a paycheck, when you drink alcohol, nicotine, or even on your cell phone. Yeah, people wonder whether or not you can really be addicted to social media, your cell phone. Absolutely. There is a lot of studies that show that social media and whatnot is designed to keep us hooked. And so it's important to have a balance in your life because you don't want to be addicted to anything, you don't want to be controlled by anything. And a lot of things in our society today are designed to do that, like especially our cell phones and social media. There's ways to combat that. There's ways to live a very healthy, natural, balanced life. And we'll get into that in a second. How are you feeling, guys?
Pretty good.
Good.
All right. Here we go. This is the view. Oh, gotta change the settings. Yeah. Nice. There he goes. Oh yeah.
You saw the footage from the movie?
No, of course not. It's owned by the production company.
Who's the production company?
The director was the guy who produced.
You got served?
Yeah.
I really want to see that movie now.
I do too.
I can imagine you like What's up, Marquise Houston? Yeah, so who else was there? Marquise
I can never tell whether or not Nate's being serious or if he's actually making fun of me.
No. He went to
Good friend.
And it's not very good. But
You're horrible, man. Yeah, I'm kind of rusty. Oh well. How you guys? Tired?
I feel unbelievable.
It's hydrating.
Yeah, I should get some water too.
Where?
Alright, so we're sitting here at the top in the shade, getting a little rest before the rest of the group meets up with us. And it was a good hike. Definitely good to get out here, get some fresh air, get some exercise, get some sun.
Vitamin D.
Yeah, gotta get your vitamin D, right? It's important to get out, exercise, take care of your body. You get those endorphins, and now that we reach the top, we get that dopamine hit because we accomplished our goal. Beyond our just physical needs, our body feeling good and feeling good about ourselves in that way, beyond dopamine, there's serotonin and there's oxytocin. Now, serotonin is the feeling that you get when you're proud of yourself. You've gotten that raise, maybe you graduated from high school or college. Once you accomplish those things, that's not moving up as far as you can go on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You've not reached the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, your self-actualization, until you realize, like Mother Teresa and Albert Einstein said, life isn't worth living unless it's lived for others. This is why we're designed for relationships. When you do something selfless, when you are actually living for others, when you realize that life is much more than what you get, but really about what you can give, that releases oxytocin. It's that feeling of love and connectedness and trust. When you look at the people who are the happiest in the world, the people who are the most generous, or the people who live their life according to deep relationships, deep connections, and those people are the happiest. You look at relationships and they're the ones that last the longest. You know, we've heard about the previous generations when people have been married for, 50, 60, 70 years. They can literally say they love each other more than they did when they first met. Why is that? Because they're old and wrinkly? No, it's because they actually put work into it. They got through the tough times, and those friendships that we've had for years and years, they grow deeper because there's that trust, there's that connection. Most people are just living on that bottom level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is living for yourself, amassing wealth or money or power. But the problem with that is it only releases dopamine, which is highly addictive, and it's not fulfilling. You need more and more and more and more and more in order to get a hit. So why are people so unhappy? It's because they're selfish. So if we actually lived in a way that was selfless, and we really worked at those relationships, whether it's your friendships or whether it's your family, we'd be a totally different society. Our society's gone completely the other way in a very selfish direction. There's a proverb that says that where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Well, what is our true treasure? Is it money? Well, somewhat. But really it's our time, it's our effort, it's our blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak. And when we actually give our time, our effort, and we put our treasure into our relationships, they grow. But it requires a selflessness to how you live and how you treat other people. And that's what we're really made for. We're not made to just get, but as Christ says, it's better to give than receive. So the happiest people in the world are people like Mother Teresa's missionaries of charity. They get up, they pray, and they go out and they help the people who need it the most. And they're gloriously happy because they're getting that biological underpinning of what life is really all about. That living for others, helping people who need it the most, giving. And that's how we really find our true self-actualization. Making the world a better place is one of the things that people say a lot. There's some truth to that. But really, it comes down to not about the big picture always, but the little picture. Mother Teresa said this, that we can't always do great things, but we can always do little things with great love. You know, even in businesses, you'll see that the ones who really do a great job, they realize that business is not just about making money. We might think, well, what is it for then? Business, at the heart of every business, if it's a good business, is about service. It's looking to do something that helps other people. It solves a problem. And that's what any good business does. It actually thinks, how can we, make the world a better place in some way. But it's really at the heart of it, service and figuring out how to solve those problems, for people who need certain things, who need, even a restaurant or a grocery store is solving the problem of how to distribute goods and services. So if we were to act like the opposite, those other businesses that are just self-interested, well, we're really acting in a selfish way. And that's why a lot of relationships fail too, because we're acting in only what am I getting out of it? Well, that's not a true relationship. A true relationship is two people becoming a sincere gift to each other. Whether that's friendship or a romantic relationship, we were made for those things, but it has to come from a selfless place. It has to come from a even sacrificial place. And so that's where you look at, people's love languages or things they like, and you actually take an interest in them, you invest into that, you pay attention to that. And whether that's a friendship or a romantic relationship or family, you're going to feel so much more fulfilled and happy and satisfied when you actually remember Mother Teresa's quote, that life isn't worth living unless it is lived for others. Nate mentioned something, and I thought I would include it in this video, because we're talking about, oxytocin and dopamine and how you can get addicted to certain things like social media, but you can also obviously get addicted to things like
Drugs.
Yeah, drugs. So the thing about it is drugs play on your dopamine. And if you don't have enough oxytocin in your system, for instance, if you're not really truly connected to friends or family and whatnot, oxytocin actually suppresses your dopamine addictions. So for instance, in AA, the 12-step program, if you don't finish the 12-step, you'll completely go back to your addiction. And that's because when you do something selfless, you help somebody who is in the same position you were, then you have a lot of oxytocin in your system. But if you don't do that, then you don't have the oxytocin to suppress those dopamine addictions. It's very hard to get addicted to things, dopamine addicted to things like drugs or alcohol, cigarettes or social media and your phone and stuff like that, if you have a lot of oxytocin in your system. So stay off drugs. And Nate, tell me the story about the guy you saw in DTLA.
Yeah. When I was living in DTLA, there was a guy who'd constantly dance. He would put stuff on the floor, put the radio down, just dance all day. But at one time I saw him when he was normal, and I just asked, hey, I'm just curious how you ended up where you are. And essentially he said, well, drugs. And I was like, oh, tell me your background. He's like, well, I have a PhD.
So you can be a doctor, you can have a PhD, but you can become addicted to drugs, right?
And drugs destroyed him because he was so, I don't know, I didn't talk too much to him, but yeah, he was always posted near the last bookstore on 5th Street.
Right, so you can have your whole life together, you can have a PhD, but you can still fall prey to all different types of addictions, whether it's drugs or alcohol, even your social media. If you look at, and if you wake up in the morning, Simon Sinek was saying this, you wake up in the morning and you crave a drink, you might be an alcoholic. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do before you get out of bed is you check your phone, well, you might be an addict. And so in that sense, if you want to have a healthier life, you want to have a more connected life, and a lot of times with things with dopamine addictions is that what you're really craving is a true relationship, true connection. But a lot of times we turn to these addictions because we are more empty and we're trying to fill ourselves with that instead of actually truly being connected with friends or family. We're made for those relationships. And so if you want to live a healthier, happy, more fulfilled life, you really got to find those these friends that you can count on, you can talk to, you can talk about life, and they keep you on track, and that releases that oxytocin and actually suppresses your dopamine addiction. So highly recommend you guys find those good friends you can speak to about this and live your life with that are going to keep you on the right track, because it is invaluable.
All right, where's my $20?
All right, here you go. So with everything that we've been talking about, I just want to give one last point, and that is that if you look at biology, psychology, philosophy, and theology, they're all pointing to the same thing. You know, biology says that, you know, if you're selfless and you caring about others, you're going to be happy, you're going to fulfill, you're not going to fall into addiction, you're not going to find that, you know, pit, that hole inside of you that you're trying to fill up with just getting, you're going to be truly fulfilled. You're not going to need that. You're actually going to be truly happy in that regard. You know, we're made, biologically made to be in relationships, to have great friendships, to really be selfless. And then if you look at philosophy, what do they say? The ancients say that, you know, the happiest people are the good people, the people who are just, the people who really are selfless in that way and wanting to have that family and whatnot. And then if you look at psychology, the happiest people in the world, like Mother Teresa's missionaries to charity, or people who have families, people who are married, people who have deep relationships, you know, they're selfless. They actually live for the people that they love and they care about. And then finally, theology, what does it point us to? Well, you know, sacrifice, that we're made for love. Catechism 1766 is that love is to will the good of another. It's selfless. And so we want to truly be fulfilled. You know, all of these different things point to the fact that we're made for relationships, we're made for love, and that that's how we find a truly fulfilled and rich life. All right, so take care. God bless. Heading back down. See you in the next one.